what kind of issues that we can identify related to thoughts and thinking? What do we need to be aware of when we talk about psychological state management? Well, first of all, from our previous lectures, you might remember that most of our thoughts are negative and repetitive by nature. Try to catch yourself thinking about something several times a day and ask yourself, is this thought new or old? Is this thought positive or negative? Unless you're looking forward to some positive event, such as holiday, you would probably find that most of your thoughts are negative, unless of course you've been practicing some psychological techniques to make yourself thinking and feeling more positive, which is possible. Or perhaps you are a more positive person by nature than the majority of people. So anyway, even if you're looking forward to a positive event, such as your next vacation or a trip abroad, you might find yourself worrying about how to prepare for this event, what to take with you, what to consider, whether you have booked everything that was required, whether everything will be provided as you're hoping. Thoughts appear as important and as facts. Whatever we think, we often identify with it. Thoughts feel as real and as truth, and we think like this because our thoughts are based on our previous experiences. Thoughts are your internal dialogue, which can be challenged and disputed. How many times did you find yourself getting distracted with your thoughts in the middle of some important discussion or a meeting? Or when your friend is trying to tell you what happened to them the other day, and you suddenly catch yourself thinking that you missed quite a big chunk of what they were saying. Or even when you read a book and suddenly realize that you cannot remember the whole page or two of what you've just read, and you have to start rereading the same page again. Feelings and emotions can be very overwhelming, whereas emotions can come and go within minutes. Feelings, it's what stays with us for so much longer. It can be extremely hard to manage thoughts. You try to use a variety of techniques such as avoidance, suppression, replacement with the positive thoughts, making yourself feel better by focusing on something positive. And some of these techniques can help in the short run, but 2 hours later you will find yourself thinking about the same issues and experiencing similar feelings. Negative thoughts and feelings attract more of the same, whereas the feelings may intensify and takes you to the extremely negative view of the situation, or start a depressive cycle if you're prone to that. Thoughts means lack of mindfulness in your life. Try to be 100% focused on your task at hand. Engage with what you're doing totally. Whether you're walking or creating some artwork, writing a letter or listening to a friend, try to be mindful in this process. And you will notice that you don't have any thoughts. Mindfulness doesn't coexist with the world of thinking. Strive to be mindful as often as you can during the day, whenever you remember. So as you can see, thoughts might be seen as a very helpful tool which helps us to plan, reflect, dream about something that we want to achieve one day. But thoughts also have certain issues that we have to be aware of, such as most of our thoughts are negative and repetitive. Thoughts appear as facts, important information and truths, which is not that accurate representation of what's happening in our mind. Negative thoughts can cause low mood and depression, so it's pretty serious consequence. You might come across many techniques that can help us to get a grip on thinking, especially the negative, unwanted thoughts. And one of the ways it might be to suppress the thought, or try not to think about what you were thinking. But these techniques often doesn't work that well. Why? This is what we'll be discussing in our next lecture.